All right, y'all, welcome back. So on this one, we got this dude that went a little viral in the community talking about all gay black men gonna have to, for the majority is gonna have to settle down after everybody has gotten their whole phase out and started around, and basically in old age and etc. I mean, what y'all think about this? Check this out.
The reality for a lot of black gay men is that you're either going to have to get lucky or you're going to just have to wait until your later years in order to find love. You're going to have to wait until your later years after everybody has went through their whole phases, after everybody has been sucked and ran through and all other shit. When finally decide to want to settle down, that's when you're going to find you a partner. Because if we're really being honest, the black gay community, and I'm talking specifically about men, a lot of these motherfuckers are ran out, thought it out, bopped out, slutted out, fucked out, ran through, like all the things, bitch. Like, I feel like the black gay community is separated into two groups. It's the motherfuckers that are for the streets and the sewers and the pipelines and the porta potties and all that other shit. And then you have the who are constantly heartbroken because they're steady running into people who are on whole shit. They're steady putting their best foot forward and it's not working out because everybody that they date is on whole shit. Like, and it's weird to me. The reality. And then what really irritates me even more is that a lot of y'all, after y'all went through y'all little whole phases and after y'all just stomped all over people's hearts and feelings and shit, then y'all come to the motherfucking internet crying, talking about, oh, I can't find nobody. You fucked your entire city and you fucked over your entire city. And now you're thinking that you're going to be able to circle back and date these people. That's not how it works, Bookie. It's just not. And I've been trying to tell people this for the longest. The loneliness within the black gay community is not going to end until y'all stop being so fucked out, sucked out, thought it out, ran out, bopped out, and all that other shit. A lot of y'all know nothing of romance. Y'all don't know how to wine and dine. Y'all don't know how to take care of a motherfucking household. Y'all don't know how to be accountable. Y'all don't know how to take care of another person's needs. The only thing that some of y'all know how to do is fuck and suck. Fuck and suck. If it ain't bumping and grinding and humping and pumping. And then a lot of you bitches don't know nothing. Outside of sex, a lot of y'all are ditzy dumb bitches. And that's the reason why a lot of black gay people are going to continue to suffer as it pertains to love. And that's just the end of the story. That's all she wrote. That's what it is. That's why I constantly get on here and I'm down y'all's motherfucking throats about that freaked out, thought it out, bopped out shit, because y'all are actually ruining people. You're not just ruining yourselves, you're ruining other people. And a lot of y'all are doing this whole shit under the guise of being sexually liberated. There's a difference between you being sexually liberated and you fucking your entire city and fucking with people's emotions in the process. I feel like somebody needs to say that. Period. Like, this shit is getting very weird out here. Very much so.
All right, so first, before I get to my commentary on this, I want to read a couple of the comments that was going on that same video, because we had a lot of different perspectives, and I want to actually address everyone's different perspective on this one that I felt like had the majority of the opinions on this. All right, so first, somebody says, let's not pretend hookup culture has completely taken over the community. Plus, we have a lot of everyone going after what don't want them. That's real. Another comment, a lot of hit dogs in the comments I see. Somebody else says, this is natural. Y'all want to be booed up with no sexual experience? Weird to me. So some people saying that it's natural for people to sleep around with a bunch of different people, get it out of their system, at a younger age, whatever, just doing them. They think that that's normal to do with all these different people, and it's okay for you to end up, settling down at old age. There's nothing wrong with that. That's normal, and anybody who thinks otherwise is weird. I'm definitely glad I got that one on there, because I feel like that's one that a lot of people felt, but they didn't, there was a lot of people saying that, but not that direct. So then somebody else says, the note taking is killing me. That shit was funny. Somebody else says, so glad nobody could ever say that I've been ran through, and yes, I'm married. I love that comment as well. So we got a lot of different opinions. Now, a couple more comments. Somebody says these are facts 100. He is not lying, and they get mad when you don't want to F them. That's real. That's true too. Can't stand it. Another one. Judging people for having a hoe phase is crazy work. You're supposed to do it when you're young. That's why you got people out here hoeing in their 40s, 50s because they were trying to find love at 22. Now, that one is another perspective that, you know, a lot of people might be able to relate to that. Now, what I know he means is that a lot of people settle down too young and then they try to soil their royal oats or get their whole phase out, I should say, after, you know, they're well older. And honestly, in the gay community, it could just be consistent, it could be reversed, and it could be traditional. It just, you know, depends on the person. All right, another comment says, but is he lying though? LOL, let's not pretend hookup culture has completely taken over the community. Plus, we have a lot of everyone going after what don't want them. Okay, so that was the back of that comment. So yeah, that's real. The only thing I hate about the ran through narrative is the fact acts like we are inanimate objects with finite resources that don't grow, change, and evolve. That's argumentable and that's dependent on the person. You know what I'm saying? But there is some truth in that. My optimism is stronger than this message. I just refuse. I like that comment because that's real. You do got to have optimism in this situation. If you're single right now in 2025, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be optimistic. Somebody else says, if you're for love, monogamy, your goal should be to become the version of yourself that you are looking to attract. This includes but not limited to abstaining from sex until you're in a relationship. Focusing on your financial stability, weeding out friendships that don't serve you, and cultivating self-love and happiness. It could take years to become the new version of yourself, but when you do, I promise your person will show up in the mirror all work you have done. You have to know it's not a fantasy, it's what you deserve. Hey, that's the best comment on here. Yeah, that's the best comment on here. Like, real talk, well-rounded comment. And I'm going to get to some of that here in a minute. Somebody says, please go seek therapy if you found yourself agreeing deeply with anything said. So what I don't understand is the extreme opposition of that opinion, because I feel like that's something we could all relate to. So when they got a strong opposition, I'm automatically siding like, you're part of the problem. You're one of the hoe ass niggas that he's talking about. That's why you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Somebody responds to that comment and says, or maybe it's coming from a person who has done some kind of healing and sees the community uses sex as a way of dealing with their heart, and in process of them fixing their selves by sleeping with everyone, they're hurting other people. Is not projection. It's realization that this community over sexualize ourselves and then hurt in each other and just move on to the next person. And living in Atlanta, that is true. A lot of people live out their hurt by using sex as a way of healing and in the process hurting other people. And that is real. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody gonna say one of y'all's popular singers trash music to me, but whatever. Then says, then date women, then shit. And it's just like, these are the type of people that we cannot have leading the community, bro. Like, this is the problem. These is always the ones that go mainstream. That's why I be calling them the mainstream gays, because it's like, nigga, what is you talking about? Who gave you a platform to be able to, like, man, that sucks. Anyway, no, not only women are the ones that should be abstaining from sex. Men should as well, especially if you're the receiver of penetration, meaning versatile or bottom, period. So that's just real talk. Somebody else says, much of the problem is internalized homophobia, which is linked directly to sex at a very young age. We are taught that sex is bad, is doubtly bad if you like the same sex. Oh, it's doubly bad, basically, doubling down on the bad. So we judge ourselves, then we judge others for what comes to us naturally. Many of us can't even identify the trauma, so we can't even begin to get over it, and the cycle continues. So now that's something that's interesting to me because I've never felt like that before. Um, Now, when I first had sex with a dude a couple times, when I was like hella younger, yeah, I would feel like, oh, this is bad. I shouldn't be doing this and type shit like that because of what I was told through religion and all that, right? And just growing up. And so I did feel bad a couple times after in the beginning, but then I got like as I grew and I started to accept myself and love myself for who I was and shit. Then yeah, I stopped feeling that feeling, you know. So if he's saying that, that's some real small old school, like old minded, young minded shit. So if niggas is still dealing with that kind of pressure and having them kind of feelings and emotions past 25, I just feel like you just late as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But hey, everybody got their own stages, but I'm just keeping it 100. So that, I don't feel like that should be a big issue for most of us. Real talk. So then somebody says a lot of traumatized people going around doing traumatized things. Yep. Sucks, and there's a lot to unpack and digest, but at this point I don't even think I care anymore. I'm so far out of the mix, and that's been my safest bet. All right, I like that. It's hard out here for everybody, to be honest. If you find someone worth it, hold on to them. Hey, that's real shit. Yeah, 100. All right, last batch of comments. Somebody says, do not believe this post. Only talk to guys who are interested in you. Be kind to yourself. These messages get stuck in the back of people's mind, and they need to believe it. This is not true. No, it is true. Like, straight up. And it's not about just finding people who like you. Like, there's hella fuckboys in all ways and shapes and sizes, buddy. All right, last comment. So somebody says, this is not the message. So let's get into the things here. The video contained a lot of generalizations and projections. I don't understand what people be saying when they say that shit. If you're saying projecting like we can all relate to this shit in the community, then there was nothing wrong with that. But as far as like are you saying that he's projecting his own shit? You don't know what his own shit is. That's just real shit. You're just trying to be twisting it up to be manipulative to fit your narrative. But let's continue. First, let's establish something. Singlehood is not less valuable than being in a relationship, marriage, etc. Now, that's dependent on the person. Yes, it is less valuable than to some people. I feel like everybody needs to decide what kind of life that they want to live. We all have the right and the will to carve our own life out here. So if you know that you are somebody who wants to live your life with somebody and that's how you see your life, don't let people talk you out of that, tell you that you're needy, sensitive, and, you know, like, that's why it's not happening, because it wouldn't matter if you stop desiring it, acting like you don't want it, making yourself busy, becoming a workaholic, whatever, to shut it down. It still will not matter that you will be somebody who wants and prefers somebody, but you just won't get it because you're going to do all kinds of shit to push yourself away from it further because you don't believe it's going to happen. So you do need to believe that it can happen. All right. And it is better than being single if that's the kind of person you are. However, if you are the kind of person who prefers to be single, then that means you need to really prefer to be single, not just in this season and then eventually you want to get with somebody. You need to act like you want to be with somebody through it all. Everybody needs to understand that you are not always going to be perfect. But if you push away people when they come to you as blessings, that's where you fuck up. A lot of people say, oh, nope, I got to hold off on this person because I need to get my career together. I need to do this. I need to do that. If you push people off when they come as a blessing, that's where you'll really ruin your chances, because then you can push some good people away and then you can get older and then realize like, damn, I fucked up my chances. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was people I could have had, but I was too busy trying to do this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to be single and live like that and get out of people's way and don't date seriously and just have fun and do you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being single, but just understand what that comes with as age comes and everything as time goes on. Because what most people want to do is eventually get with somebody. And what people mess up at is that they don't act like they want to be with somebody and value themselves and live a certain way respectably to get that, and they end up by default pushing themselves into being single forever. I'll get into that here in a second, but let me finish this comment real quick. So you can experience periods of singlehood over your lifespan. Yes, as you should, and that's what's going to happen most likely anyway. So villainizing it does not help you. Second, the over reliance on anything will be problematic. Yeah, you don't want to over rely on anything. You do need to be able to be single, though. I'm never saying don't be able to be single, because you got to be able to take care of yourself, period. All right. A relationship is supposed to add to you, not be something that you need. Okay. Second, the over reliance on anything will be problematic. That goes for sex all the way to religion. Okay. Third, there are still many examples of how internalized homophobia, they did not have to do all that. I was doing way too much. Intra-community is impacting the ability to be in relationship to each other, in relation to each other. Yeah, I guess niggas is still dealing with homophobia internally. I did not think so, because I'm like, if you have the guts to come out and live your truth, how the hell is you still dealing with internalized homophobia? You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. Intra-community is impacting the ability to be in relation to each other. Fourth, many men in general, regardless of sexuality, do not fully grasp how to be in community. Being in community and understanding commonality is important in establishing relationships. Fifth, the over-reindexing in heteronormative values sets as a standard for gay relationships will forever be an Achilles heel. Okay, what do y'all mean by that shit? When y'all say copying and heteronormativity, what are y'all talking about exactly? I need to really get y'all to elaborate on that shit. Cause what it sounds like is y'all saying we not supposed to have no structure, we not supposed to have no balance. We just supposed to do whatever the fuck because we're two men and we don't know what we supposed to do. So we just supposed to make shit up out of thin air and have no direction. And be poly. That's all the other fucking thing y'all have. Y'all don't have anything else. That's all I've ever been waiting. I've been waiting on alternatives besides poly, being an open relationship. And accepting shit that niggas don't accept. Like hoe shit. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, interpersonal work is needed at every phase of a black man's life. Surrounding ourselves with fans and admirers fosters a world where nothing or no one can help you course correct. Yeah, you definitely, narcissistic shit is not gonna help you in a relationship either. That's true, but all right. So this is what I gotta say about this, and in response to the whole video and everything. Yeah, y'all. Real talk. The slutty shit is definitely doing a big number on the community. Let me tell you why. I know that we all think that because we're all men and that it's all supposed to be even and equal across the board. You know, the top cannot prefer a bottom to not sleep around if he feels like it's not a big deal for him to. So kind of like how men and women are, you know what I'm saying, in the straight community. That is still true because it's not about sex, it's about sexual position. When a person is a receiver of penetration, the mindset is becoming different. It's now, this is something that I only want to have. I don't want to share this. This is something I'm going to be dominant and territorial about. Now, a lot of people who receive penetration tend to not care how the person who has the tool that who's doing the penetrating, they don't tend to care about the body count, and they don't tend to care, and it doesn't change the value of the guy because of the whole mindset behind it. They want a dominant, guy that's attractive, which they're gonna assume he's gonna have hoes. He's gonna have numerous of body count already. It comes along with the good sex that he give and his game and his personality, his confidence, etc. You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, it's nature, laws of attraction. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Me personally, I didn't even said it already on here before. My boyfriend was a virgin before I got with him, meaning that he had not been penetrated. That's what I consider a virgin in a man. I do not mind if how many niggas or bitches they smashed before me, but as long as they ain't been getting pounded out before me, like it went through phases. Like at first, I really just happened to come across a lot of virgins and shit, or niggas that had not been cracked yet, because I deal with a lot of bisexual dudes and like masculine dudes. So a lot of people be trying to crack them. I mean, be trying to get cracked by them. Like I usually have dated verse tops that decided to be, make me an exception. They let me smash, but they usually was a top with everybody else, or bisexual dudes who, did not mess with dudes like that, or wasn't getting topped, or straight dudes that, tried and experimented with me and they let me smash. You know what I'm saying? That's always been my type. That's always been my experiences. That's always been what I preferred, my preference. So my boyfriend was just in that same category. He was with a female before me. He had a wife and everything before me. A couple years before we met, which was good. He had his experience. He got to get a little bit of niggas and shit. Because after him and his wife divorced, that's when he started experimenting with niggas. And then, he met me a couple years after that. So I'm glad that he got to experience some shit. He was a top with the niggas. He had not got smashed by nobody until he met me. That's my type. You know what I'm saying? And it became that because of what dude was saying. I got tired of running into niggas who was always, just, a part of this shit, getting smashed by all these different niggas and think it's normal. And it's not just the fact that they're getting smashed and it's about the looseness of the hole and how easy they could take dick and shit. It's not that. Sometimes there's perks to that. What it is these niggas have a certain mindset. They have a certain way of not have dealt with a lot of trauma and shit. They be toxic as fuck. You know what I'm saying? You'll try to give them a chance and they'll put you through the ringer. This is just like some of my worst experiences has been with them type of niggas. It's not I'm looking down on them type thing. I gave it a chance before. The shit, I learned my lesson. I was like, I'm not dealing with it no more. Like, from now on, I will only be getting niggas who is new, and I'm the only one. Like, straight up, I'm not dealing with, already fucked niggas and shit no more. Like, it just became my preference, what I decided to do, and it worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy. I'm glad I made the decision I did because, it's so much easier being with a person that's not a freaked out person. I promise you. Like, they're fun when you out here in this shit trying to have fun and you just, something temporary, you just going through some shit. You don't really know what you want. You ain't really trying to be in a relationship. You just vibing. They cool. That's what's up then. You know what I'm saying? I never gave a fuck what the body count of them niggas was either. But when it came down to me cuffing somebody, me taking them serious, me, thinking about them, spending money on them, etc., like all the shit that niggas is needing and wanting and what y'all need to be worried about getting. Because a nigga just coming through fucking is not something that you need to be, that anybody can get that in this community, okay? Like, it's time for us to level up. You feel me? And yeah, that's what it came down to. It has to be somebody that nobody knows and nobody had access to but me, period. And that's what it came down to. Like, and I'm glad I did that because it works out for me. I'm not saying that that's what anybody else should do. Everybody do what y'all feel is best for y'all. If y'all want to accept guys who got a long, history and rap sheet and niggas, or, a nigga that got a few body count, but, he ain't busted all wide out and everybody don't know about him, but he got his experience and he's equal to you and you accept him for that. That's what's up. Do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to tell nobody to be like just like what I'm saying. I'm just telling y'all what I did to navigate my way through that. We all got our own ways and tactics to get away and get through this game. You know what I'm saying? That's how I got mine. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, be careful being so tolerant though, because that's how niggas get you. You be all sensitive minded, empathetic in the wrong ways because you just want to see the good in people because you like the way they look or something, and then you start looking past all these red flags, and then that's what make you bitter, y'all. That's what make people bitter. Getting played by accepting shit, thinking shit's gonna change, forgiving this nigga for this and that, and then the nigga still playing you, he cheating on you, you forgiving him, and he's still breaking up with you. You done forgave him for being disrespectful, doing this, doing that, and you still single again. Like, that's what be making niggas bitter, you know what I'm saying? So don't be one of them that's like, oh, I ain't gonna be like Say So TV and be all stuck up and act like I'm better than these niggas and not accept these niggas and, be misogynistic, they call it, because, I have my fun and shit, but I won't accept a nigga for having his fun. I said a nigga can have his fun. He could be my equal. He could be topping all. He could have been topping hella niggas. I'm still gonna fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not fucking with no nigga who getting ran through. I'm not doing it, bro. Like, straight up. I need to be the only one that's been in them cakes, period. Like, or like something like that to where you not affected like that and you ain't got bodies and niggas like that. That's what my standard became. But, shit, I just ended up with, somebody who never had. And I'm so fucking, I hit the jackpot. Like, boy, I'm so happy about that. So, and it's real. Like, it does change. It's different. They don't have all that baggage. They don't be having all them trust issues. They least likely to have narcissistic personality. Get somebody who's worked on themselves emotionally, because it really stems from that. Because if they work on their mind and their spirit, they not gonna be no hoe anyway. You know what I'm saying? The body follows the mind and the spirit. So if they healthy and they dealt with themselves, and they prepared themselves and they ain't got all that baggage, and if they have had sex and had their fun, they still high value. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that these people not good, worthy people to date. That's still good people to date. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, be careful being very tolerant of shit, because that's when you get caught up. All right.
So yeah, y'all, I would much rather deal with a guy that I can only smash 3-4 times a month than a bottom that just can take it and get around like that, and it ain't really nothing. It's just normal to them, just because of the fact that they could have bodies before me. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather deal with a dude that ain't never been smashed and really ain't, into getting smashed like that, but they let me smash and they enjoy it with me. That's more of a prize than to have a dude that is easier to smash, but then you got to deal with all these other issues from, because they don't value you, because they can get dick whenever they want, or they been here, done this, you're just number 137 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want somebody who can value you, because after a while of being in this lifestyle, I noticed that a lot of bottoms get numb. They don't cherish dudes. They look at dudes like they just another nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of baggage that comes along with them that prevents them from being good partners. Trust me, I'm not trying to talk down on bottoms and dudes in this lifestyle that's just so happen to be living and doing them. I'm just being real with y'all and letting y'all know that things happen that a lot of people don't act like happens. Just because these dudes is used to being marginalized, suppressed, belittled, that does not mean that they can't hurt nobody. I'm trying to tell y'all, the most hurt people the most. So because they go through all that suppression, they go through being judged, they go through being criticized and being belittled so much, they carry that into their relationships, y'all. All right? They carry that numbness of all them niggas that did them dirty, that moved around, fucked them and left them. And you know what I'm saying? They carry that. They carry that negative energy and that baggage. So yeah, I decided I was going with somebody who didn't have that, who was not affected by all this shit in this lifestyle, and it happens to work for me. Now, I'm not telling y'all not to do that. If that's what y'all want to do and y'all want to take y'all's chances, well, y'all going to be saying the same shit I'm saying here in a minute after a while anyway, because you're going to waste a whole bunch of time. That's what's going to happen 9 times out of 10. I already know what's up. But y'all need to find out on y'all's own. You feel me? So do you always go with what you feel and go with your lessons and learn. Don't just keep repeating the same processes over and over again. All right, straight up. Trust me, they value you more when you break them in, aka when you train them on your penis. They value you more, as opposed to when they're already broken in, they come with a bunch of bullshit. I'm trying to tell you, they think that they got this, they know what they doing, they got the mindset of an independent woman. And don't no man want that. I'm trying to tell you. You need to go heal and focus on yourselves and stop trying to distract from reality by entertaining this bullshit. Do something that's actually gonna impact your life in a better way. And I promise you, after y'all do this healing and everything, and y'all do the work on yourselves and self-reflect on y'all's childhood traumas and etc., there is such a big reward on the other end for that. A lot of people sleep on what you get out of that. They think that, oh, y'all just be talking about healing and shit is boring and all that. No, like, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, there's such a great reward and peace on the other side of healing, as opposed to having to be in chaotic relationships and start drama and bullshit arguments just so that you feel like alive in a relationship, because you need toxicity to feel upbeat and feel like you're living, I guess. Like, it's so toxic, bro. Nobody wants to deal with that. That's why niggas like y'all be single all the time, and y'all gonna stay single, because don't no real dude that has any value of himself wants to deal with somebody who entertains bullshit drama like that.
No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say. No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say.